Let's talk about page 1 of project 6A. So we've got two tables in front of us. The first one is titled Table of Annual Premiums per $1,000 of Life Insurance. In order to read this table, you need to know a person's age, what type of insurance they have, and whether they're male or female. With those three pieces of information, you can read the table and find their annual premium per $1,000 of life insurance. Now, if you look at the table below it, there's a couple missing items. So starting in this column, annual premium per unit. We have to find the annual premium per unit for three people, for Nicholas Santos, for Zachary Wheeler, and for Dennis Jarvis. Now, when they say per unit, this unit is specified as being $1,000. So it says use the table of annual premiums per $1,000. So right there they've told us that 1 unit equals $1,000. So this will come in handy later. For now, let's stick to figuring out annual premium per unit. So as I said before, you just need to know three pieces of information. One of those being gender, the next being age, and finally type of insurance. So with these three pieces of information, we're going to be able to figure out the annual premium per unit for Jesus Hernandez. So I'm going to start with age. It says he's age 30. So I'm going to go to the age 30 row, and I'm just going to highlight the whole thing. The next piece of information I'll use, so I started with age, the next piece of information I'll use is the type of insurance. And I can see that it's paid up at 65, which means my answer will come somewhere in this box, paid up at age 65. The last piece of information I'll use is gender, which is male. So I need to find the box that is in the age 30 row, the male column, and in this paid up at age 65 box. And it's pretty clear that the only box that meets all three of these criteria is $17, which is why his annual premium per unit is $17. We'll do one more example just to make sure you're comfortable identifying these. So let's do Alicia Gonzalez. So Alicia is a female, age 45, and has whole life insurance. So once again, I like to start with age. So I'll go to the age 45 row and I'll just highlight the whole thing. Next I'll go to type of insurance, which is whole life insurance. So I highlight that, and again that tells me that my answer is somewhere in one of these whole life columns. Finally, I'll use gender. I see that she's female. So my answer has to be somewhere in this female column. So the only box that is in the age 45 row, the whole life insurance category, and in this female column is $1,875. So her annual premium per unit is $1,875. So you'll do the same thing to figure out the annual premium per unit for Nicholas, Zachary, and Dennis. Next, we'll look at number of units. So remember, 1 unit is equal to $1,000. So this column is asking us to figure out the number of units of coverage. So take a look at the way that they've calculated the other ones. The coverage was $25,000, and each unit is $1,000. So the number of units is 25. The coverage was $100,000, the number of units was 100. The coverage was $250,000, the number of units is 250. So what's happening here? Well, they're simply taking the coverage and dividing by 1,000. And that tells you the number of units. So what about annual premium? For annual premium, you take the annual premium per unit and multiply by the number of units. Okay, again, you take the annual premium per unit and multiply by the number of units. So what they're saying is, for every $1,000 of coverage, the person must pay this amount, the annual premium per unit, and then you multiply by the number of units, and that gives us our total annual premium. Finally, we have quarterly premium. The quarterly premium is equal to the annual premium multiplied by 0.255. So notice that the quarterly premium is 25.5% of the annual premium, so it's just over a quarter more. So again, to summarize, to find annual premium per unit, use the table, use these three pieces of information to find the box that satisfies the gender, age, and type of insurance, and that'll tell you their annual premium per unit. Next, you'll find the number of units by taking their coverage and dividing by 1,000. Once you have annual premium per unit and number of units, multiply them together to get your annual premium. To find quarterly premium, just take annual premium and multiply by 0.255.